The slap came out of nowhere. 1 second, I was standing in my own kitchen. The kitchen I'd designed and built with my own hands 40 years ago, making coffee. The next second, my daughter-in-law Crystal's palm connected with my face hard enough to snap my head sideways. "What the hell?" I started. "Shut up and listen, old man." Crystal stood in front of me, hands still raised, her face twisted with contempt. "I'm done playing games. You're signing over the deed to this house. Today." I touched my cheek. It was already hot. Probably red. I'm 67 years old, and in all my years, no one had ever hit me like that. "This is my house," I said quietly. "Not for long. You're too old to live here alone. You can barely take care of yourself. Kenny and I have decided you're going to a retirement home. We'll sell this place or keep it. But either way, you're leaving." Kenny agreed to this? Of course he did. He sees what I see. You're declining, getting forgetful. You're a liability. And this house is wasted on one old man who's going to die soon anyway. The cruelty in her voice was stunning. This was the woman my son had married 8 years ago. The woman I'd welcomed into our family. The mother of my 2 grandchildren. "Get out of my kitchen," I said. "It's not your kitchen anymore. I'm giving you 1 week to sign the papers. If you don't, I'll have you declared incompetent. I've already talked to a lawyer. I have witnesses who'll testify you're senile." "What witnesses?" "Neighbors. People at your doctor's office. I've been laying the groundwork for months, Frank. Telling people you're confused, forgetful, making up stories. 1 week. Sign the deed, or I'll take it from you anyway." She walked out, leaving me standing there with a handprint on my face. I waited until I heard her car leave. She was taking the kids to school. Then I went to my workshop in the garage. Behind a locked cabinet, I pulled out a small recording device. I'd been wearing it for 3 months. Every conversation, every interaction with Crystal recorded. Legal in our state. Single-party consent for recording. I played back what had just happened. Her threat, her slap, her plan to have me declared incompetent, all documented. I called my best friend, Bill Patterson. We'd been law partners for 30 years before we both retired. He answered on the second ring. "Frank, little early for a call. Crystal just slapped me and demanded I sign over my house." Silence. Then, "Are you serious?" "Dead serious." "And Bill, I got it all on tape." "Jesus, you've been recording her?" "For 3 months, every threat, every insult, every time she's called me senile or told people I'm incompetent, all documented." Frank, that's elder abuse. That's assault. You could have her arrested." "I know, but I want to do this right. I want to destroy her so completely she can't ever come near me or my grandkids again." "What do you need?" "I need you to help me build a case." "And Bill?" "I need to do it fast." She gave me 1 week. We met at Bill's office that afternoon. I brought everything I'd been collecting. Recordings of Crystal telling me I was too old to live in my own house. Video from my doorbell camera showing her telling neighbors I was losing it mentally. Emails she'd sent to Kenny about dealing with your father's declining health. All lies. "This is good," Bill said, reviewing it all. "But Frank, why didn't you just kick them out? It's your house." "Because Kenny's my son. Those are my grandchildren. I thought if I gave Crystal time, she'd settle down, stop pushing. I thought she'd see reason. Instead, she escalated." "Yeah. Okay, let's talk about your legal position. The house is titled how?" "Life estate deed. I set it up years ago with Lyndon. I own the house and have the right to live in it until I die. Upon my death, It transfers to Kenny, but only if I haven't revoked that provision. If I revoke, it goes to the charity Linda and I supported. So Crystal can't force a transfer. Not legally, but if she has me declared incompetent and gets conservatorship, she could potentially not going to happen. Frank, you're one of the sharpest legal minds I know. No judge would declare you incompetent. She says she has witnesses. Bought and paid for, I'm sure. We'll handle it. But here's what I'm thinking. We let her make her move. Let her try to file for conservatorship or forge documents or whatever she's planning. Then we crush her with evidence of fraud and elder abuse. What about Kenny? Bill was quiet. That's the hard part. Your son is going to have to choose between his wife and his father. He'll choose her. He always does. Maybe, or maybe when he sees what she's really been doing, he'll see clearly. I wanted to believe that. But Kenny had been under Crystal's thumb for years. She controlled everything, their finances, their social life, even his relationship with me. When Kenny came home from work that night, I was in my study. He knocked on the doorframe. "Dad, can we talk?" "Come in." He sat down heavily. Kenny was 40, a good man, worked as a contractor. He looked exhausted. "Crystal told me about this morning, about the house discussion." Discussion. She'd called it a discussion. "She slapped me, Kenny." His face flickered. "She said you got aggressive. That you scared her." "I got aggressive? I was making coffee." "Dad, she's worried about you. We both are. You're getting older. This house is a lot to maintain. Maybe it's time to consider..." "Consider what? Giving up my home so your wife can have it?" "That's not what this is about. It's about your well-being." "Kenny, I'm 67, not 97. I'm in perfect health. I maintain this house just fine. I built it with my own hands. I think I can take care of it. But you've been forgetting things." Crystal says, "What have I forgotten?" "Name one thing." He couldn't. "She says you seem confused sometimes." "I'm not confused. I'm being systematically pushed out of my own home by a woman who wants what I've built." "Dad, that's not fair. Crystal loves this family. Crystal loves this house. There's a difference." Kenny stood up. "I'm not doing this. I came to have a calm conversation about your future, and you're attacking my wife." "Your wife attacked me. Physically. She said it was an accident, that she was gesturing and didn't mean to hit you." "An accident?" She looked me in the eye and told Kenny it was an accident. "Get out," I said quietly. "Dad, get out of my study. And Kenny, start paying attention to what your wife is really doing before it's too late." He left, shaking his head, choosing her, like always. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in the bedroom I'd shared with Linda for 40 years, staring at the ceiling I'd installed myself, and wondered how it had come to this. Crystal wanted me gone. Kenny believed her lies. I was alone in my own home, under siege by my own family. But I wasn't helpless. I'd spent 40 years practicing law. I knew how to fight. And Crystal was about to learn that age doesn't mean weakness. Welcome to Viral Revenge File Stories. Could you please tell us where you're watching from? And if this is your first time visiting this page, kindly subscribe and turn the notification bell on so you don't miss out on other stories. Trust me, you'll want to hear how this one ends. The next morning, Bill came over with a private investigator named Tom Reynolds. "Frank, you mentioned Crystal's been acting strange. Any chance she's got something else going on?" "Like what?" "Like another relationship. In my experience, When someone's this desperate to get rid of a spouse's family member, there's usually another motive beyond just wanting the house. You think she's having an affair? I think it's worth checking. Tom here is the best. He'll follow her for a few days, see what we find. 3 days later, Tom came back with photos. Crystal with a man who wasn't Kenny. Meeting at a coffee shop, holding hands, kissing in a parking lot. His name is Ryan Wade, Tom said. Sales manager at a tech company. Divorced. They've been meeting regularly for about 4 months based on their social media activity I could access. 4 months. While living in my house, being supported by my son, Crystal had been cheating. This changes everything, Bill said. This isn't just about elder abuse anymore. This is about a woman trying to steal your house so she can divorce your son and keep the asset. Kenny needs to know. Not yet. If we tell him now, Crystal will know we're onto her. Let her make her move. Let her hang herself. Then we hit her with everything at once. The 1-week deadline Crystal had given me came and went. She cornered me in the kitchen again. Where are the signed papers, Frank? I'm not signing anything. Her face darkened. I warned you. I've already filed the conservatorship petition. I have 3 witnesses ready to testify you're mentally incompetent. The hearing is next week. Looking forward to it. You stupid old man. You think you can fight me? I'm 40 years younger than you. I have energy and time, and I will outlast you. This house will be mine. We'll see. She leaned in close. And when I win, when they declare you incompetent, you're going to the cheapest nursing home I can find. You'll rot there, and I'll raise your grandkids to forget you ever existed. Every word recorded. The conservatorship hearing was set for the following Tuesday. Bill and I prepared. She's going to bring witnesses saying you're confused, forgetful, can't take care of yourself, Bill said. We're going to bring medical records showing you're in perfect health. We're going to bring your financial records showing you manage everything perfectly. And if she really pushes it, we're going to play the recordings. What about the affair? We saved that for Kenny. That's not relevant to the conservatorship case. But your son deserves to know what kind of woman he's married to. The hearing arrived. Crystal showed up with her attorney. Expensive suit, slick presentation. She'd spent money on this. Her witnesses testified one by one. A neighbor who said I'd seemed confused when she talked to me. A woman who worked at my doctor's office who said I'd forgotten appointments. Another neighbor who said my yard was declining because I couldn't keep up with it anymore. All coached. All paid off, probably. Then Bill put me on the stand. Mr. Carlson, how old are you? 67? And your health? Excellent. I had a full physical last month. Clean bill of health. No cognitive issues. No memory problems. I can provide the medical records. He did. Handed them to the judge. Mr. Carlson, who manages your finances? I do. I pay my own bills, manage my own investments, handle my own taxes. I'm a retired attorney. I've been managing complex financial matters for 40 years. Can you provide evidence of this? Bank statements, investment portfolios, tax returns, all showing a sharp, organized mind. Mr. Carlson, why do you think your daughter-in-law filed this petition? Because she wants my house. She's been trying to force me out for months. When I refused to sign it over, she decided to have me declared incompetent so she could take it legally. Crystal's attorney objected. Your Honor, this is speculation and defamation. I have proof, I said calmly. I've been recording our conversations. In this state, Single-party consent recording is legal. Would the court like to hear them? The judge's eyebrows went up. Yes, Mr. Carlson, I would. Bill played selected recordings. Crystal calling me a burden, telling me I was too old to live in my own house, threatening to have me declared incompetent, saying she'd put me in the cheapest nursing home she could find, and the slap. You could hear it on the recording, the crack of her hand on my face. Her voice, "Sign over the deed, old man." The courtroom went silent. The judge looked at Crystal with disgust. Ms. Carlson, this court finds no evidence of incompetence on the part of Frank Carlson. Your petition is denied. Furthermore, the evidence presented suggests elder abuse. I'm referring this case to the district attorney's office for potential criminal charges. Crystal went white. Mr. Carlson, do you feel safe in your home with Ms. Carlson present? No, Your Honor, I do not. I'm issuing a temporary restraining order. Ms. Carlson, you are to vacate Mr. Carlson's property immediately and maintain no contact with him pending investigation of abuse allegations. Her attorney tried to object, but it was over. Crystal had lost. Completely. Crystal was escorted from the courthouse by security. Kenny, who'd been sitting in the back of the courtroom looking shell-shocked, followed her. I sat in my car in the parking lot for a long time before driving home. I'd won. The house was safe. Crystal was out. But I'd also just destroyed my son's marriage. Ensured he'd hate me. Guaranteed I'd probably never see my grandchildren again. Bill knocked on my car window. You okay? Did I do the right thing? Frank, she hit you. She tried to steal your house. She threatened to lock you in a nursing home and make your grandkids forget you. Yes, you did the right thing. Kenny's going to hate me. Kenny's going to see the truth. Give him time. That night, I came home to an empty house. Crystal had already come by with movers. The restraining order allowed her to collect her belongings. She'd taken everything that was hers and, I noticed, several things that weren't. Family photos, kitchen appliances, even some of Linda's jewelry that had been in a drawer. I documented it all. More theft. Kenny called at 9 p.m. Dad, what the hell did you just do? I protected myself. You destroyed my marriage. Your wife destroyed your marriage when she started trying to steal my house and abuse me. She wasn't abusing you. She was trying to help. By slapping me? By threatening to lock me in a nursing home? Kenny, you heard the recordings. Those were taken out of context. What context makes it okay to hit your father-in-law and demand his house? Silence. Kenny, I love you. You're my son. But I'm not going to be bullied out of my own home by anyone, not even your wife. She's saying you manipulated everything, that you twisted her words. I have recordings, video, documentation. The judge believed me. The judge doesn't know Crystal like I do. Maybe you don't know Crystal like you think you do. He hung up on me. 2 days later, the district attorney's office called. They were moving forward with charges against Crystal. Elder abuse, assault, attempted fraud. We'd like you to testify, Mr. Carlson. I will. But you should know, she stole property from my house when she moved out. I have a list and photos. Add it to the charges. A week after the hearing, Bill called. Frank, we need to talk. Tom's been continuing surveillance on Crystal. Why? The case is over. Because I wanted to know what she'd do next. And Frank, she's with the boyfriend. They're looking at houses together. What? Ryan Wade. They're house hunting. Expensive places. Way more than Crystal could afford on her own. She's planning to use my house money. That's what I think. She's still trying to find a way to get the value of your property. How? She has no legal claim. I don't know. But she's planning something. 3 days later, I got a call from my bank. Mr. Carlson, we need to verify a deed transfer that came through today. What deed transfer? The deed to your property at 447 Maple Street, signed by you, transferring ownership to Crystal Carlson. We need to confirm this is legitimate before we process. My blood went cold. I never signed any transfer. That's fraudulent. Can you come to the bank immediately? I was there in 15 minutes. They showed me the document. It was a quit-claim deed transferring my house to Crystal. The signature looked like mine. Good forgery, notarized, filed with the county that morning. This is fraud, I told the banker. I never signed this. I need you to freeze this transaction immediately. We already have, sir. It seems suspicious given your account history. I called Bill from the bank parking lot. She forged a deed transfer. You're kidding. No, she actually forged my signature on legal documents to steal my house. Frank, that's a felony. That's serious prison time. Good. We went to the police station, filed a report, provided the forged deed, along with evidence I hadn't signed it. I'd been at my doctor's office at the time the notary supposedly witnessed my signature, had time-stamped documentation proving it. The detective handling the case looked at everything. Mr. Carlson, given this and the existing elder abuse charges, we're going to arrest Ms. Carlson today. She's facing multiple felonies now. Crystal was arrested that afternoon. Kenny called me, screaming, "You had my wife arrested. What is wrong with you? Your wife forged my signature on legal documents to steal my house. That's a crime, Kenny." "She wouldn't do that." "The police have the evidence. She did it. And Kenny, there's something else you need to know." I told him about Ryan Wade, about the affair, about the house hunting. "You're lying. You're making this up to turn me against her. Tom Reynolds has photos, video, documentation. She's been cheating on you for months." "I don't believe you." "Then ask her. When you bail her out, ask your wife about Ryan Wade." He hung up. But 2 hours later, he called back. His voice was different. Broken. "I saw Tom's evidence. Bill showed me. The photos. Everything. I'm sorry, son. She's been cheating on me? While living in your house? While trying to steal it from you?" "Yes." "Oh my God. Dad, what have I done?" "I believed her. I chose her over you. I thought you were the problem." "You love your wife. That's natural." "I loved a lie. Everything she said about you, about your health, about your confusion, all lies?" "All lies. I'm fine, Kenny. I've always been fine." She wanted the house. That's all she ever wanted. Kenny was quiet for a long time. "I'm filing for divorce." "You don't have to do that because of me." "I'm doing it because she's a liar, a cheat, and she tried to steal from my father. The woman I married doesn't exist. She never did." "What about the kids?" "I want full custody. I don't want them around her." "Dad, can we come stay with you? Just until I figure things out? This is your home. It always has been. Come home." Crystal made bail the next day. Kenny served her with divorce papers while she was still in the courthouse. Her attorney tried to negotiate, wanted shared custody of the kids, wanted half the marital assets, wanted spousal support. Bill, who was now representing Kenny in the divorce, laughed. "Your client is facing felony charges for elder abuse and fraud. She was having an affair. She tried to steal property that doesn't belong to the marital estate. She gets nothing." The divorce was ugly. But Bill was good. Better than Crystal's attorney. Final settlement. Kenny got full custody. Crystal got supervised visitation only. She got nothing from the marital assets because of her fraud and infidelity. She paid her own legal fees, and she was going to trial on criminal charges. The trial was 4 months later. I testified about the abuse, the threats, the assault. The recordings were played in court. The forged deed was entered as evidence. Crystal's attorney tried to paint me as a vindictive old man who'd manipulated everything to destroy his daughter-in-law. But the evidence was overwhelming. The jury deliberated for 3 hours. Guilty on all counts: elder abuse, assault, forgery, fraud, theft. The judge sentenced her to 4 years in prison. Ms. Carlson, the judge said, you targeted a vulnerable senior citizen, your own husband's father, for financial exploitation. You physically assaulted him. You forged legal documents. You violated trust in the worst way possible. This court has no sympathy for you. Crystal cried, begged for mercy, said she had children who needed her. You should have thought about that before you committed multiple felonies, the judge said. They led her away in handcuffs. Kenny sat beside me in the courtroom, put his hand on my shoulder. I'm sorry, Dad, for everything, for not believing you, for choosing her, for all of it. You didn't know. I should have seen it. She was good at hiding it. You're too forgiving. You're my son. That's what fathers do. Life settled into a new rhythm after the trial. Kenny and the kids, my grandchildren, ages 6 and 8, lived with me. Kenny was rebuilding his life, saving money to eventually buy his own place. But there was no rush. The house was big enough for all of us. I taught my grandson how to use tools in my workshop, taught my granddaughter to cook in the kitchen I'd built. Kenny and I rebuilt our relationship. It wasn't the same as before. You can't go through something like that and come out unchanged. But it was stronger. Honest. Dad, why didn't you just kick us all out when Crystal started her campaign? Kenny asked one night over dinner. Because you're my son. Those are my grandkids. I didn't want to lose you. You almost lost your house instead. Houses can be replaced. You can't. 6 months after Crystal went to prison, I got a call from my attorney. Frank, Crystal's trying to appeal. Claims ineffective counsel, says the evidence was inadmissible, the usual. Will it work? No. The case was airtight. But I thought you should know she's not accepting this. She never accepted anything in her life. That's her problem. A year after the trial, Kenny bought a small house 3 blocks from mine. Close enough that the kids could walk between houses, far enough that we each had our own space. You could have stayed, I told him on moving day. I know. But Dad, I'm 41 years old. I need to stand on my own. And you deserve your house back, your space, your peace. You never took that from me. Crystal did. But I let her. I should have protected you. You're protecting me now. You're being the son I raised. That's enough. The kids stayed with me every other weekend. I took them to baseball games, taught them to fish, told them stories about their grandmother Linda. They asked about their mother sometimes, where she was, why they couldn't see her. Your mom made some bad choices, I told them honestly. She hurt people. Now she has to face the consequences. Did she hurt you, Grandpa? Yes, but I'm okay now. We won't hurt you. I know you won't, kiddo. 2 years after Crystal went to prison, she was released early for good behavior. Kenny called me immediately. Dad, she's out. She's already texted me asking about the kids. What did you say? Nothing. The custody order says supervised visitation only. She can't just text me. and expect access. Good. Stick to the legal boundaries. Crystal tried to rebuild her relationship with Kenny and the kids, sent gifts, wrote letters, asked for chances to explain. Kenny shut her down every time. She had 8 years of marriage to be a good wife, he told me. She chose to lie, cheat, and try to steal from you instead. She doesn't get more chances. The supervised visitations Crystal was entitled to happened at a family services center. The kids went reluctantly at first, but after 3 visits, my grandson refused. She's weird, Grandpa. She keeps trying to hug me and calling me baby names I haven't used since I was little. She doesn't even know us. You don't have to go if you don't want to? Really? Really? You're old enough to make that choice. Both kids stopped going. Crystal threatened legal action, but her attorney advised her that forcing visitation with children who actively didn't want to see her would look bad to a judge. She backed off. 3 years after the trial, I ran into Ryan Wade at the grocery store. He recognized me immediately, looked uncomfortable. Mr. Carlson? Ryan, I just want you to know, I didn't know Crystal was married when we started seeing each other. She told me she was divorced. And when you found out the truth? I ended it. I don't mess with married women. And when I found out what she did to you, he shook his head. I testified at her trial, if you remember. Prosecution used my testimony to prove she was planning to divorce Kenny and take the house. I did remember Ryan's testimony had been damning. I appreciate you telling the truth. I'm sorry for my part in all of it. I should have asked more questions. You were lied to, too. Crystal was good at that. He nodded and walked away. I never saw him again. 4 years after the trial, on a Sunday afternoon, I was in my workshop when Kenny came in. Dad, can we talk? Always. I've been seeing someone, dating. It's getting serious. My heart sank a little. After Crystal, the thought of Kenny getting hurt again terrified me. Tell me about her. Her name is Amy. She's a nurse. Divorced, has 1 kid from her previous marriage. Dad, she's nothing like Crystal. She's genuine, kind. She knows everything that happened. I told her all of it, and she's not scared off. When can I meet her? Today. She's outside. I wanted to ask you first if it was okay to bring her in. Kenny, you don't need my permission. After what happened last time, yeah, I do. I need to know you're okay with me bringing someone new into our lives. I looked at my son. 4 years ago, he'd been broken by betrayal. Now he was cautious but hopeful, asking for approval because he valued my judgment. Bring her in. Amy was lovely, genuinely kind, funny, easy to talk to. Her daughter was sweet and polite. They stayed for dinner, and I watched Kenny laugh more than he had in years. After they left, Kenny hugged me. She's good, right? You like her? I like her very much. She's nothing like Crystal. No, she's herself. That's better. Kenny married Amy a year later. Small wedding, family only. Her daughter and my grandkids were flower girls and ring bearer. At the reception, Kenny made a toast. To my dad, who taught me that real strength isn't about pride or winning. It's about protecting the people you love and standing up when someone tries to tear you down. Dad, you saved me. Thank you. I raised my glass, looked around at my family. My son, his new wife, the kids, Bill and his wife, friends I'd known for decades. Crystal had tried to take this from me, had tried to steal my home, isolate me, destroy me. Instead, she'd destroyed herself. I was 73 years old, still living in the house I'd built with my own hands, still sharp, still healthy, still surrounded by people who love me. Crystal was in her 40s, living in a small apartment, working retail, no relationship with her children, a criminal record that followed her everywhere. I won, not because I was cruel or vengeful, but because I refused to be bullied, because I used the knowledge and experience I'd earned over 7 decades. Because I documented everything and fought smart, not hard. That night, sitting on my back porch, looking at the house I'd built 40 years ago, I thought about what I'd tell other men my age who might face something similar. Don't let people underestimate you because of your age. Document everything. Get it in writing. Get it on tape. Use the law. It exists to protect you. Don't back down when you're in the right. And most importantly, experience and wisdom will always beat youth and arrogance. Crystal learned that lesson the hard way. I just had to survive long enough to teach it to her. You know what? If you made it to the end of Frank's story, you understand something important. Age isn't weakness. Experience isn't obsolete. And sometimes the most satisfying revenge is simply refusing to be a victim. Here's what I want you to do right now. And I mean right now. While this story is still fresh, hit that subscribe button, not for me, for you. Because you deserve more stories like this. Stories about men who refuse to roll over, who use their brains instead of their fists, who prove that getting older means getting sharper, not weaker. Turn on that notification bell, because next week I'm bringing you another story about a man who got underestimated and made them regret it. Drop a comment and tell me, have you ever been underestimated because of your age? Did you prove them wrong? I want to hear your story. And if you know someone, a father, grandfather, friend, who needs to hear Frank's story, share this video with them. Remind them they're not alone. Remind them they're not powerless. This is Viral Revenge File Stories. We don't tell fairy tales here. We tell stories about real people who refuse to lose. See you in the next one, and trust me, you won't want to miss it.